What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video, and finally the video that I've been wanting to make for over a month now, and that is getting back to the track with the amazing already paint corrected ZL1. That is loud. That is right. The weather's good. It's a little hot. The DA is around 3,000, which is about double the DA that this car ran in the last time over a month ago, guys. And talking about the ZL1, look at this thing in the sun. Oh my goodness. The paint correction and ceramic coating came out amazing, and now we've got this paint that is super slippery, super slick, and ultra hydrophobic, which means that this thing is going to be able to stay cleaner longer and look really good while doing so. And man, you can see the metallic flakes in the side really stand out. Man, I love the way this car came out. If you guys have been following the channel, you'll know that I haven't been to the track in almost a month, and that is because the local track here didn't have any test and tune set up. They had some major other events going on, and to top it off, we also had a really bad rain here in Houston for over 2 weeks. So getting this car out and doing stuff with it was pretty much not happening throughout the week, and it sucked because it happened right after we had just done the E85, and the car is doing so much better. So today we're going back to the track to see what this thing will do by adding E85 compared to last time. Now, last time this car went out, it had a tune and a Rotofab Big Gulp intake with 93 octane, and it happened to run a 1078 at about 129 miles an hour, which was impressive, in about 1500 DA. So today it's in exactly the same configuration, just a rear drag pack. We did remove the front passenger seat, but other than that, the way you see the car is exactly the same as it was during those runs. Only difference is we now have it on E55, E56, which is about the most that we can run on the ZL1s without adding some fuel upgrades. So we're at E56, and with E56 we are actually running a few more degrees of timing, which means that we should in theory be making quite a bit more power. So without any more talking, guys, let's get to the track. Let's get this thing cooled down and ready for the first run and see just how much this car is going to pick up with E85. All right, we are here at the track, and of course we've got the car cooling down here in the shade. If you guys haven't caught my video, I actually did a video on this cooling setup using the Ryobi 40 volt and this 300 watt inverter to run this nice huge fan to kind of cool the engine down a little bit. This 1.6 amp hour battery should give me about an hour runtime, so we got here about an hour before the lanes open, so should be able to help cool this thing down as best as we can to get some of the better runs today. All right, guys, first run is up. We're gonna be going against a convertible Mustang. Should be pretty fun. But basically, you guys know the drill. We turn everything off completely. We have let the car cool down quite a bit. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my draggy, so we might not be able to get draggy numbers, but stability track, everything completely off. We run it in tour mode, and we just let it do its thing, guys. IATs are about 100, so it's kind of warm, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get a good time out of here. Good burn out there. Put it back in drive. Let's set this draggy up. Everything is off. We're good to go. Set this draggy going, and let's see what we do, guys. pretty good. Woo! That was pretty nice, guys. The car definitely launched and felt good. Let's see what Draggy says. A quarter mile in 1070 at 131.2. So that is really good. 169 60 foot. So looking at the logs, everything is looking good, but check this out, guys. This is what not having a trans tune will do to you. Look at this first part here. The orange line is the throttle body, and you see it getting, I went wide open throttle, you see the mile per hour, and it stays going down. It isn't until 25 miles an hour that it finally opens up the throttle body, and we finally go into power enrichment down in the bottom. You see here in the orange and yellow lines. It basically isn't until we hit 25 miles an hour that we are going full power. So yeah, with that being said, we need to get this thing on a trans tune ASAP. But even with all that, let's go and look over the logs. So I'm gonna show you guys the Draggy first. So looking at the Draggy, guys, Draggy says we ran a 1070 at 131.25 miles an hour with a 169 60 foot. 1070 is already about a tenth faster than we went last time in way better DA. So the E85 is definitely doing its thing. And now if we go to the track time that we see here, we'll basically, and I'll put this on the screen, guys, you'll see that it ran a 1064, which is the best 60 foot actually for this thing. 694 to the eighth at 104 miles an hour, and then a 1069 at 128.8. So mile per hour, guys, it didn't seem to pick up much over the previous time. But again, remember, it is double the DA. We're almost in the 3000 DA compared to the 1200 DA that we had when we ran the 129. So that's going to make a huge difference. And the fact that it's still running very close mile an hour times and a tenth faster than the last time we were out here means that this car is definitely making a lot more power. The weather is getting better. We're getting a nice cool breeze. We'll let it cool down just a little bit. We'll get it back in the lanes quickly to go for a second run, and then after our second run, we will let it really cool down some more and see if we can get a 10.5 out of this thing by the end of the night. So let's get this car cooled down and meet you guys back at the lanes when we're ready for the second run. Going for our second pass, and I guess we're going to be going up against a 1320 Challenger, so that'll be fun. And the car is about 102 intake temps. Our manifold temps probably sky high, but again, same thing, tour mode, traction and stability off, and just let the car do its thing. The transmission is really holding us back, so after tonight we're definitely going to get that transmission tune. Okay, got a good burnout there. All right. Good, guys. The car is driving pretty good. Woo! It's launching great, but man, 1072 on the Draggy. Let's see. We just got back from the second run, and the car feels great, feels amazing. The Draggy times were pretty much identical to the first run. So first we'll show you the Draggy times here, and we'll put those up on the screen, of course. And it did a 1072 at 130.9, so basically 131, 1072 in the 130s, 170 60 foot, so a tiny bit slower. But then we look at the track time here, guys, and we did actually better 60 foot again, a 163 60 foot. So our 60 foots are getting a lot better, which is pretty cool. But we 163, we went 693 to the eighth at 104, a 1069 at 128.7. So pretty much identical times to the very first run with really no cooling whatsoever. The DA is also at 2750, so 3000 DA. So now we'll actually let this car cool down for about an hour, so really let it get some air. We're getting a breeze and we're starting to get some cool weather. Hopefully the DA gets down slightly a little bit. We've been letting the car cool down. We've got a nice breeze, weather's getting better, but I'm gonna go ahead and get in the lanes because it seems like it can be quite a bit. The lanes get packed pretty quickly and we don't want to be here for, you know, 2-3 hours. So we'll get back in the lanes and let the car finish cooling off. The weather's getting better. We're getting closer to 2500 2200 DA, which should help us get a little bit faster, and hopefully we run a little better time. But even if we don't, guys, I'm still super happy and impressed with the car's performance. 10 6s at 129 in this crazy summer heat. We've got pretty much 3000 DA. You can't ask for anything better than that from a car that literally just has tune in the engine, intake, and E85 still on the stock transmission tune, which, like I showed you guys earlier, is basically limiting how much power you can put down off the launch. I mean, the fact that we can't go wide open throttle in power enrichment mode until 25 miles an hour or around 4,000 RPM on the launch is crazy to think that this car is still doing what it's doing with that, just that. Still stock header, stock exhaust, stock everything. I'm sure once we get the front skinnies and rear drag pack, put the headers on, this thing should easily be running in the low 10s, possibly even 9s on ultra basic bolt-ons, just intake, headers, tune, and drag pack. So let's get back to the lanes and I'll catch you guys when we're up for our third run. So we're actually going to be running a Camaro SS. I believe it's just bolt-ons, high ram, ram air intake, nothing too crazy. Should be a good run. I'm sure I'll be able to probably beat him, but he's hoping to try to break into the 10s, which would be awesome for him. And of course, we're trying to get to 10.5. So hopefully everything works out and we get a good time. Intake temps about the same as last time, guys. So really the only difference is going to be probably the DA that'll be a little bit better. So hopefully help us get a better time. Really good burn out there. Another really solid pass, a 1069 on the draggy. Really. So again, looking at the logs, pretty much identical, guys. We basically are getting limited by the trans here up through the first 4,000, almost 5,000 RPMs, and the car is not really going full power, but that's okay because we still do pretty well. The car never disappoints, and even in today's muggy, ugly, super worst DA weather in the middle of the summer, it still went faster. So here we've got the third and final pass for tonight, and you see it's a 163 60 foot, fastest it's gone yet, a 691, almost 106 to the 8th mile, which is pretty awesome, and a 1067 at 128.3. So losing a little bit up top, probably due to the heat, but either way, still doing really well at 1067, which means that it went a full tenth faster. It didn't actually go faster mile per hour compared to last time with E85, but it did go a tenth faster in worse weather, guys. So that is something I cannot stress, especially for boosted cars. Weather is a huge factor and really can make a swing of things. So the fact that it's running the same mile an hour pretty much as before in much cooler, better weather is really good. That means the car is definitely making more power. And if we go to the draggy slip, you can see a 1069 at 131.1 is what the draggy's showing. Now the mile per hour at the track sometimes is not perfect, and actually I kind of trust the draggy's mile an hour a little bit more. So you can say that this thing's probably going about 130, which is insane to think about with the little bit of mods that it has. Can't wait till we come back and really fix that trans limiting factor that we are having to possibly be running much faster. So if we can fix the trans and get the car to go wide open throttle from the get-go, we should see much better times here at the track, guys. So next up is get the trans tuned and basically see what the car will do on just intake, tune, and E85 with the full transmission and engine tune. And hopefully by then we might get some skinnies and we can do all that good stuff with that as well. So the way it's going, guys, this car might be able to make it into the low 10-second quarter mile passes before we even add headers, which is crazy. And if once we add the headers, we should be able to see maybe a 9-second pass out of this thing. That would be pretty insane if we could get a 9-second pass out of this with the front skinnies, the headers, E85 intake, and the full suite of tunes. That would be dope. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys thought about today's video. Really, the car is performing great. Comment down below, is it running how it should? Is it running slower? What are you guys' thoughts on how this car is running? But anyways, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.